Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Fame with Tiffany Renee, aka Golden Seed Life. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have been here before, welcome back. I appreciate you so much. Feel free to hit the bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload something new. I appreciate you. If you are interested in booking a session with me for an intuitive reading, or if you want some good information, I have a couple of ebooks. Click on the link below on my website where all of that good stuff is available. Thank you all again for all of your support. I appreciate you tremendously. Let's jump right into this video, okay? This video is about rules, okay? I want to talk about rules. Rules when it comes to manifestation, okay? Those are the type of rules that I am addressing today. There are no rules to manifestation. And I did make a previous video similar to this topic about techniques. It's called There's No Wrong Way to Manifest. Feel free to check that video out. But this one is about not necessarily techniques, but it's rules in general. This conversation that I just want to have is to remind you all that there are no rules to you getting your manifestation. There are no rules to you getting what you want. Because, check this out, you are the rules. You make up your own rules. You make up the rules as you go along. You decide what's going to work for you and what's not. You decide that. And what I mean by you are your own rules is, again, to quote Vadim Zealand, there is no out there. Okay? Quantum physics has already proven that this reality is not even real. It's not actual reality. The only reality that exists is you, the true self, the consciousness version of you, and everything that cannot be changed, which are the universal laws and the creator. That's the only reality that exists. Everything else, it's just out of our imagination. So therefore, it's all subject to change and it's all up for interpretation. Okay? Any information that you get in this 3D reality, it is subject to change, okay? Just like we change and we grow and we evolve and we like some things for a little while and then we change our minds and we like something else. And I mean, we change our minds all the time, okay? From the trivial things to, okay, when I was younger, I used to really like pickles, and then after I turned 14, I just stopped liking them. Like, you just decide, okay, I don't really want to eat pickles anymore. You just changed your mind about pickles or whatever, right? Two major things. Maybe you decided to change religions because the original religious beliefs no longer resonated with you and your spirit internally. So you were inspired to seek out other things. And so you decided, okay, I'm changing my mind about being a part of this religious organization. Okay, I'm being pulled to a different, to something different, to different ideologies. And you changed your mind. We change our minds all the time, and we have the freedom to do that. We have the free will to do that because none of this is actual solid reality. It's all just illusion anyway. It all comes from our imagination anyway. So any rules that you're being told are in place, they're man-made rules. Because the only actual rules, the real rules and laws that cannot be broken are the ones that have been put in place by the Creator. And there are certain rules that apply to certain aspects of creation. Obviously, Earth has her own set of rules that govern her very existence. Without these particular rules that have been put in place for Earth, we would probably just be spinning out into space, right? But she has very specific rules. She has to orbit the sun in a very specific way. Okay? She has to spin on her axis in a very particular way. Like the earth has laws to follow. The earth has rules, just like all the other planets, so they don't come crashing into each other. They have to orbit very particularly because that is the rule that they have, that is part of their creation. Some planets, they're sustainable. Life can be on those planets because of certain rules and laws that are in place for that particular planet. Others, nothing can survive there because of the particular rules involved with that planet. And that's just our solar system. There's probably a gajillion other solar systems that we don't even know about. That goes for every form of creation. There are rules to govern their very existence by the ultimate rule setter, which is what I call God, or whatever you want to call a source, infinite intelligence, etc. So those are the only real solid laws that can't be broken. The law of gravity here on planet Earth can't be broken because they're not man-made. Like the law of gravity is not a man-made law. It can't be changed. That is actual reality because it cannot be changed. And it applies to planet Earth. So whether you believe in gravity or not is irrelevant. It is a law, and if you jump off a building, you're going to hit the ground. I've used that example many times. If you drop something, it's going to drop. It's going to fall because of the universal law of gravity. It is permanent as long as the ultimate creator decides that it's going to be permanent. So any appearance for us to defy gravity, like flying in airplanes and stuff like that, it's science. Technology has developed a way to hold a plane up in the air, okay, to try to work within the confines of gravity. But because gravity itself is not going anywhere. Those are really the only laws and rules that actually exist. Any man-made laws and rules that exist only because man created them. Mankind created their own set of rules and laws with the original intention to govern and to hold accountability and just to make things make sense. Because as human beings, things have to make sense to us. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video. And in order for us to be able to process things a lot of the time, it has to make sense. So rules help regulate our senses. It specifically tells us this is right, this is wrong, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, this is possible, this is not possible, blah, 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 blah. Followed by all the explanation that comes along with that rule or with that law. But here's the thing, man-made rules and laws are not the end-all be-all. Why? Because they always change. How many times has your state or your country or whatever made specific laws, and then over time, those laws have been modified? they've been adjusted, or they just got rid of the law altogether because they made them. So if you're a country and you make laws and you make rules for your citizens at any given time, you can change and remove and add and modify and do anything you want to those rules and those laws because you made them. You made them up for whatever the reason is, to govern your society, to govern your country, to govern your city and state. You made up these rules and laws. It is the same thing when it comes to dictating your personal 3D reality and whether or not you can have the thing that you desire to have. You decide it. This is your world. Your reality is your reality. You get to make up the rules. You can decide that something doesn't apply to you. Even if it's a man-made rule, you can decide if it doesn't resonate with you, you can decide that it just doesn't apply to you. And because you've assumed that identity, you've taken on that version of you where this thing does not apply to me, okay? You will then start to shift onto the timeline or shift into the version of you where this thing, it's not even part of your reality because it doesn't apply to you. So you will always get the desired outcome that you want because you've decided that this other outcome, this doesn't apply to me. Oh, are you saying in order for me to manifest what I want, I have to, sit for hours in visualization, or I have to, script, or I have to do a very specific technique, or I have to do the 2-cup method, or the 3-6-9 method, or, the 55 times 5, or whatever. Like, all of these techniques are wonderful. I've said that many times, and I've tried a lot of them, and many of them have worked for me. Okay? But it's my belief in them that makes them work. Okay? So I still made the rule that, okay, this is going to work for me. And when I think back of the techniques that didn't work for me, it's because I think subconsciously I didn't really believe that they were going to work for me. And so they didn't. It just didn't resonate with me already. But the techniques that did resonate with me, they were visualization resonates with me because I just have a very active imagination. And so I can visualize myself doing something. I can immerse myself in my own imaginal act, as Neville Goddard will call it. If there's a concert that I want to go to and it's sold out and I don't have no money, I don't have no ticket, I don't have nothing, but I want to be front row at that concert, I can stand up in the living room by myself, shut my eyes in the dark, and I can place myself at the venue, especially if it's going to be at a venue that I've been to before. I already know what it looks like. I know what the front row feels like. I know what the chair feels like. I know what the little barricade feels like. I know what the stage looks like. I can place myself there in my imagination, and I can play one of the songs that I want to hear, and I can visualize whoever I want to see on stage singing that song and reacting to me and responding to me. I can do that. And it comes to pass like 90% of the time. It comes to pass. Because I made the rule that sold out doesn't apply to me. I made up that rule because man, the 3D made up the rule that said if something says it's sold out, that means we don't have anything left. You're not going to be able to get in. You're not going to be able to have that seat because it's sold out. Let me tell you, the number of times I've been told that something was sold out, or I saw online that something was sold out, and my happy self was still front row, center, backstage, whatever, at that place. I can't even count. the number of times, because I decided, no, this is my reality and I'm going to make up my own rules and I'm going to decide what works and what does not work for me based on my personal manifestations. And for me, sold out means nothing. Sold out does not apply to me. If you tell me something is sold out, you might as well be speaking Greek, because I don't understand that. That applies to other people. That doesn't apply to me. There's no front row seat for a show I want to be at. That doesn't apply to me. I'm always in the front row. What are you talking about? And it literally happens. You could check out my YouTube channel. How many stories do I have about incredible manifestations that the bridge of incidents was so incredible and I ended up in the front row. I ended up backstage. I ended up at a meet and greet that I didn't have to pay for. I don't pay for my meet and greets. Okay? Everyone I've ever met, I've never paid. I've never paid to meet them. Why? Because I decided I don't pay for meet and greets. I don't have to pay for a meet and greet. I don't. If I want to meet somebody, I'm going to meet them. And another bridge of incidents will show up because I decided that. I stopped taking things at face value like years ago. Okay? I question things. I challenge things. I'm encouraging you, okay, to challenge these rules. If you start to feel tired, right, of doing things in a very particular way, and you start to feel exhausted and weary, think about what it is that you're believing. What rules are you subscribing to? What are you believing, okay, that's telling you you can't have this thing, you can't have that SP, you can't have that dream house, you can't have that dream job, your business is not going to be successful. Who's going to want your product? Even though the 3D may be showing you evidence to support that, there may be books, there may be blogs, there may be articles, there may be tons of stories, even success stories. Okay, let's talk about this real quick before this video gets too long. Success stories. When I say I love success stories, I love hearing and watching and reading about powerful manifestation success stories. I love seeing how the bridge of incidents worked out for people who decided that they were going to have something contrary to what the 3D reality showed them. I love success stories. They're so inspiring to me. But I understand that you don't have to mirror what someone else did, okay, to achieve their manifestation and take that as that is the way. That is a way. That is one quantum possibility of how they got their manifestation. They got their manifestation through the path of least resistance for them, based on how they are vibrating, who they are, what they believe, what they're in alignment with, what they believe is possible or not possible. That's how they achieved that manifestation in that fashion. Their success story is not the rule. It is not the end all be all. It is a path, a singular path. It's just like if you're in a maze or you're in a labyrinth. There are multiple ways to get to the center of that maze. And all of those other ways, those other 9 paths that will take you to the middle, they all get you to the middle. They look different. There's different twists and turns. There's different corners you have to turn, but you still get to the center of the maze. You all just get to it in a different way. That is how your manifestations work. There are no set rules to how what you want can come to you. First of all, like I said in my last video, you are always manifesting. Your very existence is a manifestation. We are a manifestation of God. We are a manifestation of the creation. Of all creation involved is a direct manifestation of the ultimate creator. So we are always manifesting. We are having an experience because it starts in our imagination and it comes out into the 3D and it becomes tangible. It becomes matter. That is how we're having an actual existence. Again, it starts here and then it shows up here. So if that's the case, what rules are there to hold you hostage, to bind you? If you're like, okay, I really want, this particular SP, but okay, I know that they live in a different city and I can't get there. And I know that they say that they want someone to look a certain way. I don't look like that. And they didn't. Then they want this and they want that and they want this and they want that. So therefore, I have to be this. I have to be that. I have to make sure that I'm here. I have to make sure I have to find a way to get there. You've just created a set of rules that did not exist until you said it. Neville Goddard always talks about living in the end. Go straight to the end. The end result is that you're just in a wonderful, loving, beautiful, harmonious relationship with your SP. That's it. That's the story. Period. Who cares about what the bridge of incidents is? That's not your business. That's not our business. I don't care about what the bridge of incidents is going to be for me to get what I want. I just always affirm it's coming to me easily, effortlessly, and harmoniously through the path of least resistance. Period. You do the rest, universe. Whatever that looks like is not up to me because I cannot possibly see, okay? The human part of me cannot see, it cannot fathom the bajillion ways there are for me to get to that thing. I can't come up with every path. I can only come up to every logical path. And a lot of the time, there are none. Let's keep it real. So many things that I've done, that I've experienced, there was no logical path to get there. And I'm going to talk more about that in my next video, okay? Because the next video, we're going to talk about suspending your beliefs and suspending your logic. I did a video about it already, something similar to it about a year or two ago, called Don't Let Logic Kill Your Manifestation. Feel free to check that out on my channel. I'm going to revisit this because I think it's something important that we need to be reminded of. So, we'll wrap this up. Bottom line is there are no rules. You create your own rules of deliberate manifestation. If there is something you want to call into your life, you decide that you can have it. No one can tell you that you can't. There are no rules saying that you can't be your best self. There are no rules to tell you that you cannot do exactly what it is that you want to do, even if man laws, man rules, your logic, whatever is telling you, your entire 3D world is telling you, this can't happen. Or, okay, look, I'm telling you, all of these things are a factor. So, yeah, that's a hard no. You can't, this can't happen. That's just not how it's done. Well, no one ever gets a promotion after working here for only 6 months. You have to be here at least 5 years. Says who? Well, that's just what it's always been. That's just the laws. That's just, that's just the rules of how advancement works at this company. Okay, well, those rules don't apply to me. See yourself in that promotion in 6 months, and you will have that promotion in 6 months because you've already decided. You make the rules in your 3D. How is someone going to tell you in your reality what you can and cannot do or can and cannot have, or the means, okay, the means that you have to go about getting it? Absolutely not. You decide that. Okay, this is literally your world, and we're just living in it. Everyone else is just acting in it. Okay, that's all. We're just the extras. As Tom Caron and Hilly Dorenzi always say, you are the writer, the producer, and the director of your own life. Everyone else, we're just background. Everyone else is just an extra. You dictate how your story is going to go. You make the rules. Okay. Again, feel free, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, check out my website. I appreciate you all, and I will see you next time. Bye.